Welcome back to the Afterlife SMP. In today's video, I'm going to be revealing my mega base plans for this season. But first, I need to collect the resources for it. More specifically, that is 68 shulker boxes of just white stained glass. That's nearly 120,000 blocks. So I've got a lot of grinding in store for me. So how exactly am I going to get all of this glass? One option is to dig a lot of sand. Trouble is, that would take ages, especially since I would need to continuously repair this shovel. The second option would be to buy some from spawn, but yep, it is out of stock currently, and I do not want to wait for it to stock back up. The third option, and the one that I'm going to go for, is trading with librarians, because as you can see here, this one trades 4 glass for 1 emerald, which is really nice. That comes with one issue, however, and that is, I do not have any emeralds. Thankfully though, Puffing Fish has let me use his raid farm, but first, I need some bad omen. And now I need to get out of here. There's the raid farm. Now, how do I use this thing? Volume down. Looks like I just stand here, aim here with my sword, and wait for it to spawn the raid. Yep, looks like it's happening. The raid has started. Doobie 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 doo. And then I wait for them to drop in. Bam, 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 bam. Okay, I think I've got enough emeralds. Time to clear Bad Omen. Now, since it's white stained glass I need, I'm gonna have to get some bones to get some white dye. Luckily, a while back, myself, Tinkfro, Kafers, and Puff made this skeleton farm, or this nether farm in general, because it drops down piglins like this, with the skeletons and blazes. So I'm just gonna stand here, AFK a bit, and we should get some bones. This is a very noisy farm. Now that I've got everything I need, it's time to get to work. Now this is a really cool trading hall built by Puffing Fish HQ on the server that basically allows you to use the mechanics of the end gateway portals to trade with the villagers without having to wait for them to restock their items. As you can see, it instantly refreshes every time you go through the portal. Is this cheating? I'll let you decide for yourself. I personally think it's a bit cheaty. It is an exploit of a bug that's in the game. However, at the same time, it's kind of just like TNT duping. It's kind of just skipping out one of those steps just to make it more efficient. It's not really changing the gameplay that much. So yeah, I'll let you decide, but I'm personally going to keep using it just for this project, simply because I need so much glass. It has been a hot minute, and oh boy do I have a lot, and I mean a lot, of white stained glass. And how exactly am I going to use this? Well, I'm going to be making a huge sphere right above me. This is the Light Matter mod. It tells me exactly where to place these blocks. Now, I don't like to use it too much, but for a geometric build like this, it's kind of essential. I mean, technically I could do it, but it would take so long, and I would probably get it wrong. So while I build up this sphere layer by layer, I'm going to talk about something that happened quite recently to do with the Afterlife SMP name. If you're a fan of YouTubers such as The Mythical Sausage, Whip, Smallish Beans, and Gemini Tay, who are all similar YouTubers to us, you would be familiar with a brand new modded SMP that just so happens to also be called the Afterlife SMP.
You may be
The Afterlife SMP.
but I am the
Afterlife SMP.
original, you might say.
Yes, this was a complete accident on their behalf, and there was no malicious intent at all. They just didn't research the name thoroughly enough to find that we were already an established SMP, and so they ended up using the name. So how will this affect our server? Well, on the one hand, more people will be searching the term Afterlife SMP, so our videos are more likely to become recommended to new viewers. On the other hand, upon searching Afterlife SMP on YouTube, our videos no longer appear as the top result, so There's some good stuff, there's some bad stuff. A number of the members of the modded Afterlife have since reached out to us, and we've agreed to coexist under the same name. We're all friends, and both SMPs fully respect the other one. It has created a lot of confusion, but it's already happened now, and the best thing we can do is continue harmoniously. I also really appreciate the other SMP members who reached out and acknowledged the mistake. Most other big YouTubers would have just ignored it and swept it under the rug, since we never trademarked the name, so they had no legal obligation to do anything. So yeah, that's about it. Hopefully that cleared up some confusion you may have had. Anyway, time to finish off this build. Currently, this just looks like a giant saucer with a hole in it. Let's get into a time lapse of this. Also, if you like what you see and you're not already subscribed, then feel free to subscribe. I would really appreciate it, but at the end of the day, it's up to you. Oh my word, it is done. Look at this. This is insane. I haven't really looked at it just from stood down here, but it's enormous. It takes up the entire screen. Like, I need to go into F5 and change my FOV to see the whole thing. Look at that. This took quite a while. I think it took like between 6 to 8 hours over 2 days. So this was a bit of a time investment. But I think it paid off, because this is an insane looking structure in and of itself. It actually takes 6 firework rockets to get all the way from the bottom all the way to the top, if you want to get an idea of the scale of this thing. It is huge. But what is it? Well, I'm going to reveal to you right now what my mega base plans are for this season. So if you've been around here for a while, you would know that I am a Whovian. I am a big fan of the science fiction show Doctor Who. And basically what this is meant to be, or it's going to be, is the citadel from the Doctor's home planet of Gallifrey. In other words, inside this giant glass sphere, I'm going to be building a very futuristic looking city, and then beneath it there will probably be some farms and other buildings down here, which will be pretty cool. And then maybe even on the outskirts of it I could build some buildings, things like that. It's all in the air really, but it's going to be based off that. And if you're not familiar with what that looks like, I highly suggest you Google it, but yeah, it's going to be really cool. Also, if you doubt that I actually did this, and to be honest, I don't really blame you, not a lot of people would be this crazy to place 130,000 blocks of white stained glass. If I go into statistics, items, times used, look at white stained glass, that's 133,604 blocks placed, and times crafted is 134,008. Well, that is a lot, and I think combined with the crafting and trading and building, this probably took, I don't even know, I don't have an estimate. It's so large. So what is the next item on the agenda? Well, it could be one of 3 things. The first 2 are either A, building the city inside the dome, which right now I don't really want to do. I haven't really planned anything out just yet, and also I am kind of fed up of placing blocks. The second one would be building a storage system to transfer all of my items over here to in there, but also I don't really want to do any redstone. Again, I've burnt myself out placing blocks. So what's the other thing I could do? Well, the opposite of placing blocks, digging blocks. As you can see, I've been digging out this area, but it is not finished. I know it looks finished, but there is a long way to go, because this is not meant to be a cube dug into the ground. This is meant to be a cylinder, and if I fly upwards like this, you'll be able to see I've marked out these edge areas that needs to be dug out, and this one in particular will be really annoying because I need to get rid of all of this water, and I've only just made a start on it. So how exactly am I going to dig out this area? Well, I've got two ideas in mind. So the first option would be to use TNT flying machines. That's what I used in this inner area here, but there are two problems with this. The first one is the ones I used left a lot of these floating blocks, which I need to go around and manually mine now, which is going to take ages. So I don't really want to do that for the 4 sections because that will just take even longer. And also because they're rounded edges, I'm not necessarily sure if that's even possible to do it to fit the shape. So yeah, I'm not really sure about that. I'll have to do some testing. The second option is to use moss. Now, if you don't know, you can bone meal moss and it will replace any stone or deep slate and things like that in the near area with more moss. And you can insta-mine moss with a diamond hoe. So I'm thinking maybe I could go in and convert a ton of this into moss and then insta-mine it. But yeah, I would massively appreciate it if you have any better suggestions, any other ideas of how I could dig out these areas, because these are still huge and it's going to take a long time regardless of how I do it. Anyways, yes, I think I'm going to finish it off here. That is work for another version of me in the future. For now, I'm going to end it off here. I know it's been a bit of a shorter one, but I just really wanted to get this out to you after doing all of this work. So yes, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Also, if you happen to be here looking for the other Afterlife SMP, feel free to stick around. We would love to have you here. We have a Discord server and all sorts in the description below, so feel free to check us out. Anyway, I'll see you all next time. Bye for now.